Good morning, students. In today's session, we will begin with the unit number 2, that is divide and conquer. Okay, we usually call it as a DAC, divide and conquer. Okay, now basically this divide and conquer method or a technique, it is one of the technique to write the algorithms. Okay, we have seen in the first unit that we need to first devise the algorithm, right? So there are certain standard techniques available, or the methods or the methodologies available already, and among them the one of the most famous and a simple technique, we call it as a divide and conquer. Okay, can anyone tell me what it could be when you hear this particular, when you know this word divide and conquer and this particular diagram, what strikes to your mind, what this particular technique could be, just to know uh, about this particular problem or how it can be solved, what you can think of?
Dividing in subparts,
Dividing the subparts. Okay, next.
solving individually and combining again.
Solving individually and then combining again. Okay, fine. Anybody else? Right now, as you said, it is the same. Divide and conquer, it is something very similar to the modularization concept, right? In C, probably you might have come across with a something called as a top down approach, or a structure type of approach, where suppose if there is a problem, obviously we need to write a algorithm in order to solve a given problem. Right now we have a problem, and if we think that that particular problem we cannot solve it as a whole, okay, as it individual problem we cannot solve it directly, then this particular technique divide and conquer, what it allows is that we can subdivide, we can divide the given problem into a different sub problems. Here sub problems are definitely, or it should be, the smaller in size. It need not be that much as complex as the original problem is. For instance, here consider this P is a problem. Okay, we are trying to write the algorithm, and this particular algorithm, if I want to solve it, I'm not getting a particular procedure over there. Then the technique what I can do is that, let me try to think in a way that I will divide this problem which is a big into a smaller pieces of problems, a set of sub problems, which are definitely the small, much more smaller than whatever the individual or the original problem is. So what I get the sub problems as these things, that like say P1, P2, P3 up to Pk. Okay, I have divided into a multiple sub problems. Okay, now assume that here P1 is a small problem for which I can easily find the solution. Now I have divided the original problem into a sub problems, and I got all of them. And now this particular P1 problem, which is a sub problem, which is a small problem, and for this I know that how I can solve this one. I know that how I can retrieve the solution for this particular sub problem. If so, then I will develop the solution for this individual P1 sub problem. Okay, now I will devise, or I will get the solution for that. In the same way, I will go for the next sub problem, that is P2. Now P2 also I will think that okay, I can solve and I can get the solution. And that particular solution I will call it as a solution S2. Like this for all the sub problems, if I know that I can get the solution, then get that particular solution. Okay, and definitely we get a different solutions here, and all these different solutions are for the different sub problems which we have divided. Now we have a set of solutions. What we need to do now, we need to conquer them up. Conquer them up means we need to combine all these solutions to make it a single solution. And if we achieve that, and if we are able to make a single solution from all these sub solutions, then we can say that the given, that is original problem, we could able to successfully solve it. We arrived at a particular solution. by involving a technique called as, first we will divide the original problem into a different subproblems, and if we think that individual problems or the subproblems can be solved, and then derive those solutions, combine them all the solutions to get a single solution which will solve the given problem. Okay, this is the methodology which we use in solving using divide and conquer method. Understood, students?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right? Most of the time we make use of a recursive concepts here. Okay, here in this particular diagram, I have just shown you only one derivation, that is from a big problem P1, I divided it into P1, P2, P3 and up to Pk. It is need not to be that I get a solution directly for a P1. Okay, this P1 can be little more difficult to solve. In such cases, I can further divide this P1 into like a P1I, P1B. Like that, I can subclassify this P1 as well. I can go into a recurrence of dividing any particular subproblem into a n number of paths. And at that time, if I find that at any particular position, if I find that that subproblem can be solved, then get the solution and later combine all those solutions to retrieve the solution for the original problem. The best example for this divide and conquer was the one which you have studied in your second semester, that is data structure subject. Okay, the very famous problem was binary search. Do you remember, students, the binary search?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
In the next class, we are going to have a concept on that presentation by the students. We will look into that particular binary search in the next class. Okay, but before that, pictorially, let me show you some other concepts of how this particular divide and conquer works. Okay, now this is another notation. Now we have a, when we have a big problem, we can say that there are two different ends. Okay, that is from P and up to Q. There are two different, these are the two ends of a given problem. Okay, this is something a notation like a kind of an array. Suppose if we are storing the elements into an array, then we will be having a first position and we will be having a last position. Just to pictorially understand how this divide and conquer will work. Okay, now P and Q are what? These two are the two ends of a given problem. Okay, now which consist of n number of elements, assuming into B. Then divide and conquer, how it works, what we will do is that given set of n elements, we will try to divide it into two different halves. We will try to divide this particular given problem, which consists of n elements, into two different halves. When I divide it two halves, what I get two parts there. One is the first sub list and the second is the second sub list. That is the first part and the second part. Right? This derivation, if you can look to the division, it is a mid position, right? From between this P and Q, we derived the mid position. How can we get a mid position? It is simple, right? P plus Q whole divided by 2. That will give me the mid position in a given n set of elements. Then what I can do, from between this P and mid, I can make the first subset, which consists of n by 2 numbers, right? That is a half set of numbers. And on the other hand, that is from mid plus 1 up to Q. Okay, pay attention. When we get the mid position, see, mid position can be retrieved as, say, mid equals to, can say P plus Q divided by 2. Once we derive at the mid position, then we can make a half of that. First one is from P to mid position, which will give me n divided by 2 numbers, that is half of the elements. Then the next position would be what? The next to the mid, that is mid plus 1. So from mid plus 1 to Q, I will get one more subset, that I can call it to be a second subset. Again, there I will be having n divided by 2 numbers. Now, what I need to do, I need to see whether can I get a solution to this particular subset, which is the first one. If yes, derive the solution. If I don't get, then what I can do, I can further divide this first subset into two more halves. If I can get the solution for this first sublist, well and good. If I don't get, then further divide it into few more, that is 2 more halves. The same approach can be done for the second sublist also. So suppose if we don't get, then it will look like something. What we are doing in the next step, again we are dividing this particular first sublist into 2 parts. Again what we will do, we will take a mid of that in the first sublet, then we will split into 2 halves. The same way we can do it for the next, that is second sublist. So every time we will divide the given elements or divide given set of problems, and the given subset, if we think that we can or devise the solution there, or if we think that we can get the solutions, well and good, take that particular solution and then combine it together. If we don't get the solution, what we need to do, we need to go again further dividing the given list until we think that we get the solution. When we get the solution, we will treat that particular problem as a sub problem for which direct solution can be given. Now, don't you think that it is going into a recursion here?
Yes, sir.
Right? Most of the time when we try to work upon the divide and conquer, we try to think of a recursions. Right? Now, because in recursion we know one concept, that is recursion may go into a recursion depending upon the instance characteristics, or it may terminate there itself. So termination means it will terminate when we find the solution. If we don't find the solution, then keep on dividing it by recursively calling the whatever algorithms we are writing for. Okay. Is it understood, students, the overall concept about what a divide and conquer is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As point of your examination, okay, you may get a 5 marks question to explain the general concept of divide and conquer. Okay, or you may get any problems. There are 5 different problems which we are going to study as part of divide and conquer. So either you may get you will definitely get a 3 questions, that is 15 marks from this particular unit. Okay, in that one question could be the theoretical one, like the general concept of what a divide and conquer is, or it could be any problems also. Okay, now we do have a general algorithm for divide and conquer. We do have a general algorithm or the method or the approach of divide and conquer written as part of an algorithm, how it works, the general form. That particular algorithm I am going to put up here. That algorithm is nothing but the points which we have discussed here as part of this particular diagram explanation. What I will do is that I will try to convert this diagrammatic explanation into a more proper algorithm notations. Okay, now let me write it side by side. Yes.
Sir, what if the dividing is in last stage and we don't get the solution?
It can't be, because we will try to divide the solutions until we find the solutions. If the problem is finite in the sense, if we know all the elements in the given problem, then definitely we will get the solution. If we keep on dividing the problems, then definitely we will get the solution. For an example, suppose if there are 1000 numbers, out of these 1000 numbers, it is asked to find out, or it is asked to search a given number, right? Then there can be 2 possibilities. One is number can be present in that, or number may not be present in that, right? We will keep on dividing the given problem such a way that we will reach the final stage. And that particular final stage, we know that this is the sub problem which cannot be further divided. We will start dividing. Pay attention and understand. We start dividing the given problem into subdivisions, and at a particular stage, if we don't get any solution, and that sub problem which we have divided is the last stage, and last stage means that sub problem cannot be further divided. And if we don't get the solution, that means there is that particular element which we are searching doesn't exist in the given set of numbers.
Yes, sir.
Got the point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let me try to write it here itself, and let me increase some font size. Give me a moment. Okay. So the general algorithm for divide and conquer would be algorithm. Okay. So since it is a divide and conquer, I can use any name here, but for better understanding, I will use it as DAC, that specifies divide and conquer. Okay. Now for divide and conquer, I will have two parameters. One is the starting point of the problem and the ending point of the problem, that is P and Q. I have P and Q. Right now, once I have the P and Q, what I can do, I can write its corresponding body here. 1 second. Since it is a recursive algorithm, definitely I will have two possibilities. One is that the problem is small enough that we get the solution. That means I need to have a condition here. If particular problem I have between P and Q, is it a small? Okay, try to understand here. If small p comma q, that means whatever I have received the problem which is between P and Q, is this problem, is it a small? If yes, then I know that I have a solution for that. Here small means it is a divided now, and if I know the solution for that, okay, the given problem P and Q I have, and if I know that particular solution means it is a small, then I can write the solution. Okay, I can write the solution, and that particular solution will be between the given numbers, that is P and Q. Somewhere it will be a P and Q, there will be a solution. And if that particular given problem which is between P and Q, it is not a small problem, that means I now need to divide that into a sub problems. How can I divide into a sub problems? By getting the mid position or the midpoint. How can I get a midpoint? By simple arithmetic, that is mid is equals to P plus Q whole divided by 2. I get the mid positions. Okay, then let me put up the brackets for this else part also for the better understanding. And one more here. Okay, get the mid position. And once I get the mid position, what I need to do, I need to further divide that particular given problem based upon the mid value. So I will have a recursion function call here, that is return, and I will make use of a function called as combine. I will tell you what this combine is. Okay, now I'm going to combine what? The DAC of P comma mid. Okay, and then combine DAC of mid plus 1 comma q plus 1 comma q. Okay, 1 second, let me expand this one. Okay, now see here, this else block is what? When the given problem is not a small problem and I need to further divide it. So first step is what? I need to take the mid position. So I retrieve the mid position by taking a P plus Q, making the whole divided by 2. Now once I get that, what I need to do, I need to try to divide that particular problem into two halves. right? The first half will be what? Between P and mid location, and the second half will be mid plus 1 to Q. Is it the same thing what I have given in this diagrammatic explanation here? We have two ends, P and Q. If there is no solution for this one, then we will divide it. How we will divide it? The first half and the second half by taking the mid position, right? That is displayed here in this way. First half, that is, with the first half we will once again call the DAC, and with the second half we will once again call the DAC. That is divide and conquer algorithm. Next time when I call this DAC, and during that time with the first half, new value of P and Q are what? P is P and Q will be mid value. And for the second half, new values of P and Q will be P will be mid plus 1 and Q will be Q itself. Are you able to visualize, students?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Correct. Now, individually, that means suppose the first half when I call, I get the P and Q, that is P and a mid value, and I will check it once again. Is it small? Small means with respect to these new values, is it a small problem for which I can get the values? If yes, return the solution. Return the solution. That means now here I got a one particular solution. Now, on the other hand, suppose with this particular value, we are again once again calling the DAC. Now that time, is that a small value? Is that a small particular problem? If yes, then retrieve that particular solution here. Retrieve the solution. So what we have got now? We have got two solutions, solution 1 and solution 2. Now,
Sir,
this combine, this particular, let me complete the explanation. Now, this particular combine, it is a function. What it will do? It will combine the sub solutions. It will combine the sub solutions, and that combined solution will be retrieved back by the main algorithm. Yes, Pranay?
So small is the predefined function.
It's not predefined function. It is a based upon our algorithm, based upon what problem we have, we can define our own name there. This is just the naming convention that small. Here small means it is not the predefined one. It is the word used here. Just treat that whether that particular problem is a small or not. When we say it is a small, definitely we get a solution for that. That is the assumption. When I say small problem means it is a small enough to get the solution. If it is not small means I need to further divide it into the few more halves. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Now see here in this one, when we divide it for first time, this is the first list, this is the second list. Okay, now P and mid. It will be called by what? P, new value of P is P itself, new value of Q is mid here. And on the other hand, here it will be what? The new value of P will be mid plus 1, and the Q value will remain as Q itself. Now, with this particular value, we are calling once again the DAC function or the algorithm. And in that, are we getting a solution for with this P and mid? If yes, means that problem is a small problem. It is a small problem, and we know the solution for that. And if we know the solution, have that particular solution with us. Now suppose if it is not possible, it is not a small to get the solution, then what we can do? We can further now divide this into again two halves by taking a one more new mid position only for this particular first half. So we will once again divide it over here and we will get a new mid position. For example, here the new mid position, let me call it as M1, which is equals to what? P plus mid whole divided by 2, whole divided by 2. Now I got this m1. M1 is what? This particular position. Then again here it is divided into two parts. What are those two parts? First one is P, second one is M1, and the second part is what? Between M1 plus 1 and mid. Understood the division here, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now again what we will do, we will try to call the given algorithm once again, like DAC P comma M1. Then again we will check whether with respect to that P comma M plus 1, is it small enough? If it is small enough, then retrieve the solution. And once we find the solution, this combine function, again combine function is a user defined, right? The user is going to define what that particular combination or the how we are going to combine or how we are going to merge those solutions. There could be a technique used over there. So this here combine specifies that, okay, we are combining the solutions which we have retrieved by dividing that particular sub problems, given problem into sub problems, and each those sub problems have derived to a particular solutions. So for point of examination, you may get a question for the general method. In the general method, you need to draw this particular diagram, briefly just tell what this diagram is, okay, and then this particular algorithm is important, and the drawing which I have specified here, this drawing is important, and then explanation of this, how this divide and conquer works. Okay, now in a general method, how it works? First, what we will do, I will just repeat the explanation, students here. Pay attention. We have a given problem P. We will divide this particular given problem P into sub problems, and all these sub problems will be of the same type itself, right? Since whatever original problem we have, we are dividing it to a sub problems. And if we think that this particular sub problem we can solve it, then retrieve or solve that particular problem and then get the solutions. And all these solutions are what? The sub solutions. Then once we derived at the sub solutions, next step, that is the third step, is to combine all these sub solutions to make it a single solution. And this single solution will give the whatever the result which we were looking for the original problem. Okay, now the algorithm wise, this is the algorithm. Okay, how it works, this particular algorithm, we have a given problem, it is large enough to solve, and if that particular large enough problem is a small, if we think that it is a small problem, then we know the solution. If we don't know the solution, means if it is not a small, then divide the given problem by taking a midpoint. So midpoint can be calculated by P plus Q divided by 2, where P and Q are the either ends of the given problem. Okay, then recursively call the given algorithm once again with the two different set of values. First set of values will be P comma mid, that is first half. Second set of values will be mid plus 1 and the Q. With this particular two set of values, recursively call the same algorithm, right? And if we think that we get the solution for the recursively called algorithms, then combine those solutions to make it a solution for given problem. Understood, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, once we start working on the problems, then it will be more clear that when we can decide it is a small, okay, when we can
Excuse me, sir.
combine those things. Yes, go ahead.
Sir.
Yes.
So no, actually, Anushka just messaged me saying that she is not able to join because she was
Okay.
facing network issue and she was not able to hear your voice, sir.
Okay.
So she's in the lobby. She asked me to ask you whether you can let her in
Yeah,
because of
she is
network
in the meeting.
issues.
She is in the
She tried
meeting.
to get back.
She is in the meeting now.
Okay, sir.
Even for me, when I'm going into a one mode of explanation, for me also it becomes difficult to look into the lobby who are joining, who are new students there, right? So I may not get noticed about that one. Okay, this particular problem we will solve it in the next class. We have a solution for that, wherein others can also admit into the class. So that will be taken care from next class onwards.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, someone else was having some other problem. Any other doubts, students here? Anushka, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Anushka, this particular video now will be uploaded. You might have missed certain points over there. Okay, go through that particular video, and if you still have certain doubts, you can ask me in next class. Okay, I will clarify that.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
How about others? Are there any doubts here?
Sir,
Yes.
so when we are dividing the problem continuously, so you in the beginning you say that at one stage you have to stop, like you cannot go on doing that infinitely.
Yes.
So then is it that the user already knows what is the solution and then the user is going to identify, okay, this is not the solution and that is why I have to stop here?
It depends upon the what type of problem we are solving. Okay, for example, let me give certain examples here. I will take two different examples. Let me share another screen for the better explanation. Give me a moment. Okay, now I hope this screen is visible. Notepad is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now there can be two different types of problems. The first problem, the best example is searching an element, okay, in a given set. So searching element means, suppose if we have some numbers like 10, 30, 15, 20, 50, 35, like that, there are, assume that there are some numbers here. I want to search, and the search element say that particular key value is say 60. Okay, here the solution can be of two things. One is the element might be present or element might be absent. This solution is known to the user who is devising the solution here. The element which I'm searching in this type of a problem, the element which I'm searching might be present or it might be absent. So with this assumption, the developer of the algorithm, the designer of the algorithm, he or she will start to write the code for that by involving the divide and conquer technique. Okay, now we keep on dividing the technique. That is, we will first divide it into two halves, the first half and the second half. And if we think that, okay, we can get a solution in this particular any half, well and good. If we don't get the solution, then further divide it. So we will go it to a particular level where we cannot divide the given sub problem into sub problems. If we think that it cannot be further divided and there is no solution, means solution means if that particular element which we are searching is we did not find in the that smallest sub problem, that means what, the solution for the given problem is the element which we are searching is absent in the given list. If the element which we are searching is present, then definitely at a particular position, when we kept on dividing the given problem, we will come to a position or a phase when the sub problem we can find the solution such a way that that particular element is present. Then we will say that the element which we are searching is a present there. This is one type of the problems where we can have these two assumptions prior to the finding the solution. There can be another type of the problems wherein, say, let me take the same set of numbers here. The problem is to sort the given set of elements. Right now, this is a one particular set of elements. We need to sort either in an ascending order or a descending order. Now here, I can have only one possibility of the solution. If it is ascending order I want to search, definitely I will be able to sort these elements in an ascending sort. There will be no case where I don't get a solution. Like if I keep on dividing the problem into a sub problems at a particular position, I'm damn sure that I will get the solution for that. There cannot be any other value, or there cannot be any other path over there. Definitely I will get the solution for a particular sub problem. So based upon what type of the problem we are solving, based upon that we know what would be the solution we are expecting there.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So more or less in this particular unit, we have different problems. All those different problems talks about the same aspects. Let me share you the syllabus for you so that you can have a better picture about what we are going to discuss or what we are going to work upon the problems here. Okay. Now this is your second unit, right? In the second unit we have divide and conquer general method, right? This particular general method just now we discussed. It involves the algorithm also. It involves algorithm also, right? Now applications means using this particular divide and conquer method, we have a standard applications or standard problems. Okay, those standard problems are what? Binary search, that is what? Searching a given element in a given set of values. Quick sort means it deals with sorting the elements in a given set of values. Then Strasson's matrix multiplication, right? This is a very popular type solution wherein very effectively in a very quicker of time of a computation we can perform matrix multiplications. Okay, now so far probably in your first semester or a second semester you might have written some C programs, right, wherein arithmetic operations on matrices you could have computed, like addition, subtraction. Addition, subtraction on a matrix is very easy, but whereas multiplication is difficult. Do you agree, students? Multiplication operation on the matrices is really difficult. In order to solve this particular matrix multiplication, there was a computer scientist called as a Strasson. He devised a particular technique or an algorithm, and in order to devise that algorithm he used the divide and conquer technology or the method. So we are going to study this Strasson's matrix multiplication application, and then there is something called as a finding maxima and minima. Finding maximum and minimum means we are given with a set of values, and in that particular value we are going to pick out the element which is smallest, that is minimum number, and the maximum number. And again the third one, the fifth one, the last one is again one more type of a sort, and the sorting technique is selection sort. Again this selection sort we make use of something called as a divide and conquer. Okay, any doubts, students, here? Any doubts related to the general method which we just studied?
No, sir.
I will put it back the screen for you. If there are any doubts, please do ask. Okay, now try to solve the home assignment which I had given in the previous class. Complete it by next class, that is before Monday you should complete it. Okay, before Monday I will try to send you the couple of pages notes related to this divide and conquer, whatever we have studied in today's class. That notes I will type and then I will send it across to you. You can complete writing these notes, and then next class onwards we will begin with the presentations.